Hello everyone, this is Mr. Darius again, and today's business spiel is about the most common business objectives that I've seen at companies in general, regardless of their size. So even if they're a small, medium-sized enterprise or a small business in general, or if they're a corporation or a multinational to say so, they all have business objectives, and the vast majority of them, of course, at the moment, from what I've seen, are kind of similar. Now, there is a difference when it comes to the way we present these aims or objectives, or we actually think of them and we follow them between a small business and an incorporated business, to say so. And in order to understand this, I recommend that you watch the previous video regarding incorporated businesses so that you're fully aware of the differences between an incorporated and an unincorporated business. But small businesses tend to don't write them down most of the times, and they have them just in their owner's head, and they're pretty much clear where they're heading, and at the same time it's enough for them just to get them where they're actually aiming. But this changes completely once we become incorporated. Okay, so once we have an incorporated company, it changes completely. And why is that? Because now, due to our incorporation, we now have a memorandum of association. The Memorandum of Association is an official document that shows who are the shareholders, the number of shares, the capital employed, the address of the headquarters, but most importantly, it shows the overall purpose, so the general aims of that business, the general aims. So now it's public, now it's written, now it's official. We have a commitment as a company or as a business owner, once we are incorporated now, to respect and fulfill those general aims. So we start to think of them in a more responsible way and in broader terms. Now, I'm going to move the topic towards corporate aims. So corporate aims reflect aims of big companies. And if we think of big-sized companies, you should think of what we discussed in previous lessons, of companies that are high in market share, or high in number of employees maybe, or high in revenue, or high in capital employed, so on and so forth. So corporate aims, what are corporate aims? Okay, so corporate aims are long-term goals that a company actually aims to achieve, and they are communicated, and their aim is to communicate and to motivate as many groups of stakeholders as possible. Stakeholders should be seen as individuals or companies that are either affected, benefit, or interested in a business taking place or operating in a certain location. A category of stakeholders that is actually affected by these corporate aims, or actually benefits or is used for them, are the employees to motivate them, managers also to motivate them, shareholders to continue their trust in investing in that company. Potential shareholders may be attracting someone outside your business area to actually invest in that business. Why not banks? Make yourself more eligible for a loan, and so on and so forth. In order to reach these corporate aims, a company will start developing several strategies and tactics. What do I mean by strategies and tactics? I'm going to explain using an analogy of a soccer championship. So the corporate aim that we have is to win for the third time the soccer championship. And the strategy would be to have at least 40 wins 5 draws and just 1 loss, okay, in terms of record. Now, tactics will be the short and step-by-step moves that we're gonna make in each match so that we make sure that we are able to fulfill our strategy, which on its turn will take us closer to the actual corporate aims that we have. An example of tactics could be the formation you're going to use for the next match. How are you going to align yourself on the pitch after you received or you gave a goal? What substitutions are you going to make? What kind of food will you be eating before the match? And so on and so forth. Okay? Now, moving forward, we focus now on the most common business objectives that we have seen to all companies in general, regardless of their size. So whether they are small companies or they are actually humongous companies, huge players such as Coca-Cola or McDonald's. Number one would be, and this is something that you're also going to find in previous videos and that I've mentioned repeatedly because I actually believe that at the beginning of the business you have to be obsessed with it, is survival. You want to make it out there. You want to breach behind the average of 12 to 18 months where it is considered that companies that start usually go bankrupt and they close, they go out of business. You want to be there. You want to make clients. You want to attract clients. You want to make people aware of your business. You want to increase your sales. You want to promote your product. You want to become a pioneer. You want to lead by example. So you're focused on surviving, okay? So this would be the number one reason that I've seen. A number one, I would say, common reason why which businesses have at the beginning, the reason why they're operating. So they're operating to do their business, but they aim to actually survive. Number two would be growth. And what is interesting with growth is that it embraces many forms. You can think of growth of profit, growth of market share, growth of number of employees, growth of salaries, that you give your employees, growth of dividends, that you give your shareholders as a reward for investing in that business. It can be many types of growth, but you want to be bigger because most of the times bigger can be better. So that means that you can benefit of economies of scale, which means advantages that you will have for being a bigger business. You can give better prices to your clients. You can get better discounts the raw materials that you're actually purchasing. Banks can open their doors for you to finance you and your business activity. So growth would be the second common business objective that I've seen at all companies, regardless of their size. Number three would be, and this is something that makes everybody sleep better at night and makes everybody within a company more happy, but especially the shareholders, would be profit maximization. So profit maximization would be the keyword to use if you want to put a smile on everybody's face that is directly impacted, affected, or interested in that business activity. So if you're an employee, a manager, a supplier, a bank, a shareholder, a potential investor, you'll like the fact that the company is aiming for profit maximization, and it's actually encountering, and with every year that goes by, they're having more and more profit. It can also be used as a source of finance to further expand your business without having costs such as interest rate or other taxes. And last but not least would be higher market share. Market share. So you were pretty happy at the moment with having just one slice from the entire pie, but what happens now is that you build an appetite and now you start aiming for a second slice and maybe a third slice, and why not a fourth slice, okay? And it no longer suits you to just sit in your bench over there and just have the initial slice that you had at the beginning. So you want to be a pioneer, you want to lead that market, you want to be the best from what is out there as competitors, you want to be the one that sets new trends, maybe innovates over there. So they do tend after a while to aim for a higher and higher market share. So out of the total sales within a specific industry, my company's sales are a bigger and bigger percentage from the entire pie. This being said, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm just gonna make a short recap and bear in mind that when it comes to the most common business objectives is, first of all, to survive on a market that you just entered, then to grow on that market, then to focus on maximizing your profit levels so that maybe you will have money to reinvest in your business and you will have something to show to others to attract them in that business with their capital and maybe with their networking, with their skills and so on and so forth. And last but not least, you will aim to have a bigger slice from the pie that is actually in that industry or in that market that you are operating. This is Mr. Darius. Thank you very much for watching this video, and don't forget, if you have any business query, just drop me a line and I'll help you put it through.